So I don't have a lot of time to catch up on the news and everything that's going on. So one thing I like doing is reading all the different newsletters because I like to see what the big people are talking about, right? What's the media talking about? So today on Bloomberg Close, we're going to see what happened in today's stock market. So good afternoon. Here's what you need to know to end your day. Navigating a supply crisis for Apple, that's child's play. And this is kind of crazy. A supply crisis for chips, and Apple's the only one navigating it. Poof, another stock rally gone. And this Bitcoin ETF is a no-go. Spy Kings, McCorwick wants to be King Hot Sauce too. Cha-ching! The sound of incoming earnings. Apple can't stop, won't stop, even in the middle of a supply crunch. Sales soared 11% to 123.9 billion in the all-important holiday period, beating estimates. Profit also topped projections, flooded by a flood of new products including the iPhone 13. Not bad, especially considering CEO Tim Cook had warned shortages could cost more than $6 billion in sales. Shares rose in late trading. And Apple is an interesting stock, honestly. I have been considering just pouring everything into Apple because honestly, it seems like no matter what happens, like Apple's coming on top. Apple is going to be the cybernet of the future, and there's just no stopping it, right? So I'm still considering. I actually don't even have any Apple stock, you guys. When the stock split happened, I made a good killing and I sold out, and I shouldn't have. Because I would have had more money now. But that's how hindsight works, right? Visa's results may provide a clue. Like MasterCard, spending on Visa's network hit a record on the final 3 months of the year. It jumped 20% to 2.97 trillion. We can almost hear the soft sounds of shoppers tapping and swiping their cards. And this is what we're talking about in today's world, that there's just too much demand and not enough supply. And if people stop buying stuff, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be in this right now, right? But that's just the way the world works. If people have money, of course they're going to be spending. But not hitting the ears right. Robinhood's report. The online brokerage quarterly revenue missed as stock trading declined. Robinhood's also been shoring up its customer service, which may help explain why operating expenses skyrocketed 162% from a year earlier. Shares tumbled post-market. And Robinhood, it's interesting, right? Now, all of a sudden, they want to beef up their customer service. But a year ago, their customer service was non-existent. But there's just a year too late, People are not trading anymore, which explains why which explains why stock trading has declined right here. I know, myself, I know retail investors, everyone's walking away. I think everyone's pretty much done with the stock market. And I doubt people are coming back anytime soon. So, what else is happening? Another rally bites the dust. The S&P erased a gain of almost 2% as tech giants like Tesla and Intel weighed on the index. The Nasdaq 100 underperformed, and there may be more pain ahead. Morgan Stanley's Andrew Sheets sees U.S. stocks turning from leaders to laggards as they struggle to adjust to an era of tighter policy. This is kind of interesting, right? There's more pain ahead. More pain ahead. That's what I took from that. And for me personally, I'm this close to selling out. Deny. The SEC rejected yet another proposal, this time involving a fidelity trust for an ETF that would directly hold Bitcoin. The standards to prevent fraud and manipulation and to protect investors weren't met. According to the regulator, which has used the same argument in prior decisions. Next up, the SEC will consider a plan from Bitcoin servicer NYDIG, but maybe don't hold your breath. And, they've been trying to do this for a while. I doubt it's going to happen anytime soon. The regulators, they just don't like Bitcoin. First beds, now bloods. Hospitals are facing a critical shortage of blood supplies, which may significantly jeopardize the ability of healthcare providers to care for patients. Organizations, including the American Nurses Association, said high COVID rates and staffing shortages have contributed to the drop, with the Red Cross seeing a 10% overall decline in donors and a 62% decrease in blood drives at schools and colleges. And this is so interesting, right? I know I never participated in blood drives or anything, but it's kind of interesting to see how the Red Cross depends on this and how people are now not donating anymore. Me personally, I don't do that because I'm afraid of needles, right? But make it anarchy, but the rules. The moderator of Reddit forums, Work Reform, Doreen Forrest, incensed members by appearing on Fox News earlier this week while she made her unusual point that the group isn't advocating for people to not work but is raising awareness about their rights. She was later removed from her duties, and another user, a self-described anarchist, laid out new guidelines for the forum. And I actually didn't even know about the work reform forum on Reddit. I don't really follow Reddit that much, so that's pretty interesting when you read that they were telling people to not go to work. I don't know nothing about that. Opinion. Presidents have always sought to craft a Supreme Court that looks like America. All that's changed is what voters think America looks like. Writer Stephen L. Carter. President Biden's vow to nominate a black female judge has solicited backlash, comparing the pledge to college admission quotas. But supporters are wisely pointing to President Reagan's, who fulfilled a similar campaign promise by nominating Sandra Day O'Connor. And it's kind of interesting, right, that they want to put a certain demographic in power. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about this. I feel like it's good and it's bad, right, because it's tough, right? Tesla's momentum is phenomenal, but its results are dwarfed by its nearly $1 trillion market cap. Liam Denning writes, even 50% annual growth in vehicle sales at a 20% net margin wouldn't be enough to justify the valuation. The gap is plugged by belief in Elon Musk as a new Edison, whose company will dominate a transformed economy. And this one, it's tough. I actually do believe in Tesla and Elon. I've actually never invested in Tesla. I really should have, because when they did that stock split, it was crazy, right? Business Week. Got stocks? Congress certainly does. Nancy Pelosi's family's shareholdings alone exceed 100 million. When it comes to regulation, some lawmakers say that's a big problem. Right now, there are 5 bills making their way through Congress that would curb representatives' trading. Issues have arose with big tech regulations, in particular with dozens of lawmakers holding shares in at least one of the big 4. Talk about conflict of interest. And this is interesting because I personally don't think that if you're in government, you should have stocks, because they have insider information that we don't have. Let's be honest, it happens. And I don't know how people feel about that, but that's what I think. King Hot Sauce. Shoppers are often condiment brand devotees, whether it be Heinz, Hellmann's, or French. And spice giant McCormick wants in. CEO Lawrence Korwitz has already staked his claim in the condiment world with his purchase of Frank's Red House and Cholula. The M&A mentality is playing off. McCormick's stock soared to an all-time high during the pandemic, and today it reported record annual sales growth. But Crucix wants to hold hot sauce supremacy. It's interesting. I never put hot sauce on my pizza. I'm not a big sauce person. The only thing I put sauce on is on barbecue. By the way, long-awaited facelift, 6 years and $4 billion later, LaGuardia's airport renovation is finished with a brand new Terminal B and American Airlines wing. The Terminal B project is the largest public-private partnership in U.S. aviation history, complete with a new 35-gate terminal, a parking garage, and a central hall. In the words of Governor Hochul, we have literally gone from worst to best. And that's good, I think all airports should be upgraded so that nobody has to be struggling when they travel. Traveling is already stressful enough as it is, right? So, a painting of Jesus Christ by Renaissance artist Sandra Botticelli sold at a Sotheby's auction for a whopping $45.4 million. The work, titled The Man of Sorrows, dated from about 1500 and is housed in a fitting, elaborate frame. The joke in our department is Botticelli is not a Ninja Turtle, but he's pretty close. Sotheby's Christopher Apostle says, for those not raised on cartoons of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were named after the famous Renaissance artist. Wow, this is very interesting. I never knew that, and I did watch the Ninja Turtles, right? That's interesting. It's so interesting. This is why I like reading these newsletters, because you learn a lot. But anyway, that's what happened in today's close, and that's what the media's talking about, They didn't really make it a big deal that stocks just keep going down, and what Jerome Powell said yesterday, which is pretty interesting. But anyway, if you enjoy me reading the news, I'm not the best reader, especially when I have a camera in front of me. You get pressure, right? But if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe to be updated, to read more news together maybe.